While small businesses are shedding 120,000 jobs in a month, while tech insiders say the real automation hasn't even started yet. It's Thursday, December the 4th, 2025. And I need to tell you about what happened on yesterday morning while we were chatting it up on this show. At 8:15, while I was talking and delivering the information to you all yesterday, ADP, the payroll company, they released their national employment report. And this is just a report that tells how many private sector jobs were created or lost the month before. Every economist in America was expecting a gain of 40,000 jobs. The report came out 8:15 and it said minus 32,000. So we lost 32,000 jobs. That's a 72,000 point swing from expectations. Okay. This is the worst monthly drop in private payrolls since March 2023, 2.5 years ago. And here's what's even more concerning. Private employers have now cut jobs in 4 of the last 6 months. This isn't a one-time thing. This is now becoming a pattern. What did we say? One time thing, 2 times, 2-time thing, 3 times, starting to become a pattern. 4 times, it is a pattern. This is a pattern. Let me break it down for you guys. Here are the numbers. Small businesses, that's companies with fewer than 50 employees. They lost 120,000 jobs in November alone. I want you guys to listen to what Bloomberg had to say on this, and then I will share what CNBC had to say about small businesses. Check this out.
Right now, ADP employment data just crossing, and it is not a positive read on the U.S. economy. It was expected to come in with 10,000 jobs being created. Right now, we're seeing a decline of 32,000 jobs. Last week was revised upwards, so we saw 47,000 jobs created versus the 42,000 initially reported. This is the ADP employment change, and this doesn't always cohere with what we see from non-farm payrolls. However, in the absence of non-farm payrolls and in the consistency of this series, this has increasing weight. Enda Curran joins us now of Bloomberg. Enda, what do you see from these numbers?
Well, at face value, Lisa, as you're saying, it's clearly a negative read on the labour market, coming in much weaker than expected. Economists had expected maybe around a plus 10,000 jobs, but it actually came in, as you say, negative 30-odd thousand, and weakness by the looks of it across the board, jobs being lost in goods and services. Now, this does lean into what the kind of other sentiment or survey indicators had been telling us, that the labour market is softening, that we're moving from low hiring, low firing to something else. Of course, we've had headlines from big brand name companies, the likes of Verizon and Apple, cutting staff or announcing layoffs over recent.
You heard what he said, from low hire to low fire to something else. There's a new term for it, guys. There's a new term for it. What did I call it before? Let me know what you guys heard me say in the chat, the new term, what it is, okay? Let me know if you picked up on what I said earlier on what it's called. It's the fire more market. Fire more. That's what it's called. We're no longer in the low hire, low fire. We're in a fire more. Verizon, HP, all those individuals announced large job cuts this month. Okay. The start to fire market is the new term for it. Let's let them finish.
Weeks. So in the context, as you explained, where we don't have the official data from the BLS, there's a lot of weight being put on this ADP set of numbers. It's the last read we'll have really on the jobs market before next week's Fed meeting. And as I say, at face value, this suggests that the employment market continues to soften at the very least.
Yeah, and what we're seeing.
The employment market is starting to soften at the very least. No, it is already softened. It's terrible. For the typical person, it's absolutely terrible. Now, medium businesses, companies with 50 to 49 employees, okay, 499, excuse me, they gain 51,000 jobs. Large businesses, 500 employees or more, they gain 39,000 jobs. Do you guys see the pattern here? Do you see the pattern? Small, you're getting crushed. Large, you're gaining, okay? If you work for a small company, type small in the chat. If you work for a large company, type large in the chat. You see where they fall at, right? Under 50 employees, medium-sized business, 50 to 499. That's the category. Large businesses, 500 plus. Type it in the chat. By region, the numbers are just as bad. The Northeast lost 100,000 jobs. The South lost 43,000. Only the Midwest gained 45,000 jobs. In the West, gained 67,000. The fire market, that's what it's called. This is no longer a low hiring job market. It's the start to fire job market. And here's where it gets real. Heather Long, she's the chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union. She said something yesterday that you need to hear. This is what she said. This is no longer a low hiring job market. It's a start to fire job market. Type start to fire in the chats if you want me to explain what that means. Type it in the chat. Let me break it down for you. For the last year, we've been calling this a low fire market. That meant companies were firing, they weren't hiring. Okay? They weren't firing very much, but they weren't hiring much at all. So things were what they call frozen. But now that's changed. Now companies are starting to fire. Heather Long said this: many smaller firms have been the hardest hit by tariffs in the uncertainty this year. She also said this: there are letting employees go to try to remain profitable. I want you guys to type profitable if you see what's happening. So your salary is becoming their profit. Think about it. That's what a business have to do. I mean, like anybody who runs a YouTube channel and you're trying to remain profitable, you understand that if you have editors and everything else on your team, on your staff, and you're not able to invest your own personal dollars into the channel, and you're going off of, let's just say, ad revenue. Okay? Let's say you're doing about $10,000 a month in ad revenue, and your editors cost you about $3,000 a month, right? Then you have, let's just say, your script writers. Then you have, software subscription fees. Then you have whatever else you have going on. You may not be profitable. And if you're not profitable, what are you going to start to do? You're going to start to cut something that's basically an expense so that you can remain profitable. This is exactly what small businesses are doing. Now, let me show you which sectors are losing the jobs. Professional and business services, they lost 26,000 jobs. Information sector, they lost 20,000 jobs. Manufacturing lost 18,000 jobs. Construction lost 9,000. Financial activities lost 9,000. The only sectors that gained jobs, leisure and hospitality plus 13,000, and healthcare. That's it. Heather Long said it best. If you don't want to work at a bar or in healthcare, you're out of luck. I want you guys to type bar or healthcare in the chat. Those are the only two places hiring right now. Now, Neela Richardson, she's the chief economist at ADP. She said this: hiring has been choppy of late as employers whether cautious consumers in an uncertain macroeconomic environment. Here she is right here. Check this out.
ADP chief economist, and you're not here to tell us what the stock market should do based on these numbers. You can just tell us that things have worsened in the last month.
Yeah, this is a small firm story. This is even more than a small firm story, Joe. This is a mom and pop story. Because if you look at where the losses came in, it was for firms with headcount under 50. And you take that and you extrapolate it to the industries, those are the same industries. Construction, for example, where there are a lot of small firms. And so when you think about what small firms are dealing with, if you put your mind into the space of a small firm owner, they're not going to raise their hand and say, we're cutting by 10%. They're just not going to replace that retired worker. They are just going to let attrition take care of this issue for them. They are going to have a hiring freeze. They may not hire a teenager or two in the bakery over the holiday season. They're going to make these small changes that add up to a lot because 44% of U.S. workers work in these mom and pop establishments.
What's ailing them?
42% of U.S. workers work in these small companies. That means companies under 50 employees. These are the ones that lost 120,000 jobs. She's saying that many of these individuals are getting fired. Many of these individuals aren't getting replaced. You got Joe, who's been working for a company for a very long time. Let's just say they do sheet metal, okay? 5 to 10 employees that work for the company, been around for 20 years. Company probably has $1 million in revenue. Everybody takes home a decent salary. But Joe gets sick. Joe can't work because Joe got sick. The company has been losing money. The company's expenses has gone up because of tariffs. They can't get the metal imported from where they was getting it from. Let's just say it's coming from Canada. Let's just say it's coming from China. The cost has gone up. Now, big boss man has to make a decision. Joe, you're sick. You can't work. You're not bringing any money in, I don't know if I can bring you back, Joe. This is what's happening at the small business level, guys. 42% of Americans are working for companies under 50 employees. This is what's happening. Let's let her continue.
What is ailing them? What's the tariffs?
You used to be able to look at your consumer demand and your traffic and make the story. But if you're a small firm owner today, you have to think about your supplier. You have to think about the Supreme Court decision that will kind of pave the way for tariffs. You're going to have to think about all of these things instead of just your own foot traffic. And so what that means is that you may delay your decision making when it comes to hiring. You don't want to pass along those price increases to the consumer. And there's no evidence that we're seeing small firms do that in lockstep. What they're doing is they're absorbing it, they're taking a profit hit, and they may be delaying or curtailing hiring.
So how can bigger companies, they just have lawyers or something? How does it work?
They have more options. They can change suppliers. The fixed costs for small firms are variable costs for large firms. They can invest broadly. They can be price dictators when it comes to their suppliers. And you have to also understand where we are in terms of the inflation story. It's not just inflation growth. It is the cumulative effect of 24% increases in price levels in the last 5 years. So even modest inflation from here is on top of really high price increases over the last several years.
The affordability crisis wasn't helped by the 3% inflation that we've got over the last year. But the 21.5% prior to that accounts for a lot of it.
That was y'all buddy. That was y'all buddy in office that caused the 21% increase. That was your buddy. That was your buddy.
This is just like layering on another 3%.
Economists are happy with smaller inflation, lower inflation rates,
but
slower.
Prices are still up.
The price levels are still there.
Up 25%.
Right. That's right.
25% increase on prices over the last 4 years. Insane. Hiring has been choppy, she says, as of late. Employers weather cautious consumers in uncertain macroeconomic environment. Translations, companies are scared. Consumers aren't spending, and companies are cutting to survive. That's what's happening. Here's your positioning moves. 5 deadlines this week, this month. Okay? Eric Smith says boring work, automation is just at the beginning. I can tell you like this. I work in AI. He ain't lying. Okay? He's not lying. Small businesses, they lost 120,000 jobs in November. It's the start to fire market, and it has begun. But companies are paying $100 million for people with AI talent. The divide is real, okay? These 5 deadlines position you on the right side. Deadline number 1, which is tomorrow, December the 5th. New Face of Tech Scholarship. 50 scholarships of $1,500 each. Application deadline tomorrow. Winners announced January the 15th, okay? That's 24 hours. Deadline number 2, December the 9th, 5 days. Santander plus Coursera, 50,000 free places, 1 year access to 80 plus courses, leadership, innovation, data analysis, marketing, AI languages, no university degree required, not required to be a Santander customer, certification for each completed course. Sign up, it's free. That's how you get access to Coursera, all right? Deadline number 3, December the 15th. 11 days from now. Microsoft Ignite Challenge. Complete any Ignite Challenge December the 5th. Enter for 50% off certification vouchers. 5,000 winners total. 9 hands-on learning tracks. AI, data, security, infrastructure. It's all there. Deadline number 4, December the 31st. Salesforce AI certifications. Free AI associate certification. Normally $200 plus. Free AI specialist certification, first attempt free for all candidates, valid through December the 31st. Salesforce projects 11 million new AI skilled jobs from 2022 to 2028. And not only that, they actually beat earnings this week. So they're doing pretty decent, selling their AI. Deadline number 5, AWS 25% off on all AWS certification exams, plus free retake if you don't pass first attempt. First attempt deadline, February 15th, 2026. Free retake deadline March 31st. All certification levels. Type AWS in the chat if you're going after AWS. Either way, whatever you choose, pick one. Start today. Smith says the divide is real and it is growing. The question is, which side will you be on? Type side 2 if you're positioning yourself for value. Type it in the chat. Let me bring this home, okay? This is Thursday, December the 4th, 2025. Yesterday at 8:15 a.m. while we were on this show, the ADP report dropped a bomb. It expected plus 40,000 jobs. Plus 40,000 jobs. It got minus 32,000. 72,000 swing. Small businesses lost 120,000 jobs in November. It's the start to fire market, and that has begun. Ain't that something? Monday at Harvard, ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt, he said AI is underhyped, not over. He says boring work, things like billing, things like accounting, things like back office work, automation is just at the beginning. He said this, 55 years of programming that he had, gone in minutes when he saw that Google Gemini can build a program from start to finish without you even having to know how to code. And I know because I built a app using it. Mark Zuckerberg, hand delivering soup, giving people $100 million bonus to sign on with his company. You got H-1 visa wars for AI talent. All top companies seeking visas for AI talent out of India. Threat Locker, $173,000 cars they're giving away. No layoffs. They are hiring 40 to 50 people a month. IBM, 20% engagement boost by helping their employees learn AI and use AI to help develop in their career. You got John Morgan. This man is worth $1.5 billion. He started making 10K a year, plus whatever he would close, okay? He said only the paranoid survive. The divide is real. You guys got 5 deadlines. Tomorrow scholarship, 5 days Coursera, 11 days Microsoft, December the 31st Salesforce, February AWS. Pick one, start today. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Turn on notifications. We go live every single weekday, 7 a.m. Central, okay?